Hello. I want to make this video explaining something about interaction, and my mind is on that a lot. So I want to bring this across in the best way possible. Also how I feel personally, because I don't have a facade, I don't put up any facades. And some women put up facades, but most women don't have much of a facade. So the woman is the communicator in evolution also. And when we are communicators, we can't communicate with the facade. Facade is like a behavior that is not the actual, that doesn't portray what the person actually feels. So a behavior on the outside that does not reflect what the person feels on the inside. It's a lie. Okay? It's a behavioral lie. That's what it is. And I noticed that most men have that. I'm very tired tonight, but I wanted to make a video. I wanted to talk about this. I sat here for like a couple of hours, and I've almost felt like a robot that was going into sleep mode. That's what it felt. Where I would like very gradually fall asleep, and then eventually not wake up anymore. And that's not the worst way of leaving your existence. So it's not that bad. But in order to do activism and make a video, I have to be alert. My brain has to be alert. So I'm gonna give this a try. If it doesn't work, I'll delete the video. But I want to try at least. All of this is also making me very tired. The interaction between people, the interaction with men makes me very exhausted. But they will talk to each other and say to each other, "She will wear you down." Not understanding at all that they are the ones that are making me want to just fall asleep and not wake up anymore. They're the ones that are making me so depressed and so unhappy and so lonely. And they don't even realize it. Because they can only see themselves. They can only see their side of the story. They can only see their ego. They can't see the other person. What their behavior does to the other person, they can't see it. So I want to try to portray this with two versions of a story. And I hope I can bring this somewhat into clarity. A woman meets a man on the internet, and he's like, meh, ma'am. Okay, so he's not that into me. Okay, alright. So then she doesn't respond to him for a while. I mean, she responds, but he doesn't respond back. So she doesn't respond. She doesn't contact him again after that. She's always the last one to respond. When she's the last one to respond, she thinks, okay, so he's not into me very much. He doesn't want to hang out. He doesn't even want to talk to me. So then a month later, he contacts her again and says, so how come you didn't contact me anymore? Well, I was the last one to respond, she says. Well, I thought you weren't interested. I was interested, but you didn't respond anymore. Okay, right here is already that this is a big problem. Okay, real big problem. So, all right, then they talk for a while. I mean, this is even utopia. Even in this, he doesn't even the man doesn't even say that. He just becomes mean because she's not bombarding him every day with pleas for a petitioning to him to hang out with her. She's just like, okay, he's not into me. I'm gonna walk away, right? But he doesn't. Obviously, in his brain there's something else going on, other than the behavior. So he's not very. He acts like he's not interested, or he's gonna say that he only dates photo models, and the woman goes, okay, then go ahead and date photo models then, right? That's not my problem. So why do you bother me with this? Then he'll get mad. I mean, there are so many details into this that I can put into this. Then he'll get mad. If she's not all over him, he'll get mad. Or if she doesn't respond in 1 hour because she's busy sewing upstairs, right? Doing other things, hiking, like there are other things one can do during the day. Not everyone is on the internet like every second, or going to bed with the phone or something. Having the phone on while you're sleeping, not a good idea. Okay, I don't do that because I value my health. So obviously I'm not on the internet all the time. And then he'll come back to that same woman and say, I see you're not on the internet all the time, huh? Why is that? You must be lame. It's her fault. Okay, let's blame it on her. She's wrong for not being on the internet all the time. There's so many things in this, okay? And there's so many things that they do, these guys. I mean, it's amazing. Or he will create a drama with a sock account, with a female account that he created. To make her jealous. And she goes, okay, so he's not into me, he's into the other lady there. Okay, I'm gonna walk away. A month later he comes back and he bullies her. And she has no idea why. He's mad at her that she didn't fall for that soccer account game. And even if she does fall for the soccer account game, then he'll just torture her as much as possible. And so, but eventually, like, let's stick to this first version. Let's say they hook up. Let's say they meet. In the beginning, it's sort of okay. She's still not sure whether he's into her. He acts like he's not very interested. So, but she gives him the benefit of the doubt. They hang out for a while, and he never talks about how he really feels. So she's not sure about him, and she has insecurities herself. So lots of pain from childhood, mother abandonment, all of that. Man is not talking to her about his stuff. So he just acts like he's not interested. So she finally says, I'm too vulnerable for this. I'm leaving. You're not interested in me. I have to go. And he goes, what the fuck, he'll say. Yeah. Didn't you see how much I catered to you? He never catered, but he, in his mind, that's what he thinks. Didn't you see how much I tried and catered? And thank you, Blue God. Blue God agrees. He thinks he has catered and catered and catered. But outwardly, his actual behavior was like totally disinterested. It was very hurtful for the needy, vulnerable, hurt woman, hurt from childhood, right? Which most of us are. So he gets real mad, and he thinks she has another guy. That's the only reason why she's leaving. Not because of him. He can't do anything wrong. He's catered to her after all. And she says, no, you didn't cater to me. You barely talk to me. You act like you're bored. You don't even want to cuddle with me, You act like you're completely disinterested. And he gets real mad, and he accuses her of making that up, even though she's right. So he gets so mad that he starts to cheat on her and bring a woman home to make her jealous. Well, at some point she says, no, this is too painful for me. I have to go. Even though he's not very much into the other woman, he just wants to see a reaction. And so the reaction is, I am hurt. I tell you how I feel. This hurt me. And even though she packs it all out and cries in front of him, he just feels like he got even. And he thinks it was righteous for him. Lots of men, including my brother, shocked me so much that my own brother would think that it was okay for him to I don't know what he did with his wife, but to push her or something, or physically attack her. He thinks that was okay on his part because she aggravated him. I said to my brother, that's never okay to be physically violent. But that's what the guy in the story, the prototypical man, that's what goes through his mind, that it's okay to torture the woman psychologically because he catered to her, and now she questions his love, his commitment to the relationship. And he only views it as a put down. He doesn't view it as, no, this is productive criticism, this is how I feel. This is what's happening. Okay. He only sees it through one particular perspective, through the ego perspective. he felt rejected, he felt criticized, he felt defied, he felt back-talked, he felt disrespected. He felt like she's not surrendering to him. And she says, I don't surrender to a person, I only surrender to the truth. I surrender to that what is, to how I feel right now in this moment, and I share that with you because I do respect you. That's why I share that with you. But he doesn't see it that way. He just feels criticized, and thus he feels disrespected. The only way he could ever feel respected is if the woman is his slave, his mental and physical slave, and licks his ass and does anything he wants. He whistles and she comes over. I've known a couple like this. That made me very sad. This is a big misunderstanding of what a good relationship is about. Good relationship is respecting each other, mutual respect. We're on eye level, right? So, but she'll let this go. She'll say, okay, if you like me, I will stay. Let's see how this goes, but don't bring a woman home anymore. I mean, you can bang someone somewhere out of my vision field, yeah, and wash yourself, put clean clothes on. That's all I'm asking. I mean, we can have an open relationship if that's what you want. That's not what he wants, though. He wants her to be in bondage with him. He wants her to be tethered to him. Okay, she is not allowed to see someone else. She's not even allowed to look at a woman, to look at a man. Probably a woman she could look at, but she's not allowed to look at a man. Okay. So if she looks at a man, he will beat her. Okay. So maybe they'll go somewhere and her brother happens to walk by. And she says, oh, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. I've been wanting to talk to you. After the brother leaves, he hits her. Right then and there. I've been beaten by a man right there in plain sight on the streets in Westwood, LA. I hollered for people to help me. Nobody helped. That was a guy from Iran, Javad Zahedi. I broke up with him that day. He beat me in the apartment complex. He kicked against my legs, my leg bones. He shoved me against the wall real hard. I screamed for help. Another guy, also from Iran, came to help me. He was at Santa Monica College. He was a bit more educated and more gentle and all of that. So I had something with that guy going too, but then I went to that job for that Javad, which was a mistake. Okay, so, but that other guy, he chased Javad. He talked to him in Farsi, and he told him to never come to that second level again. But of course, that same night, Javad came back and whispered through the gap in the door. Luckily, he wasn't able to open that front door. And I didn't open the door. I didn't let him into my life anymore after that. It wasn't long after that when I went back to Germany to study psychology for a while. Okay, so, but like in that example story, there are so many things that can happen. Like she She talks to her brother. He beats her almost to death when they get back at home. Or she waves at someone who waves at her because she's nice and friendly. Or she shakes the dentist's hand and the dentist gives her a hand kiss, which happened to me. An Iranian dentist gave me... no, that was someone else with the hand kiss. The Iranian dentist started to pet my hand real thoroughly and massage my arm. Normally, most women at that point would feel sexually harassed and would walk away or maybe even hit a man or something. Not me. I go to the extra tolerance level, okay? Extra tolerance. And when someone is gently massaging my hand and my arm, I wouldn't mind if he gives me a hug. Good looking guy, you know. So that didn't bother me at all. So yeah, but let's say that happened to that couple and the guy sees that. He wouldn't be mad at the Iranian man because that's brotherhood, that religion. It's always the woman's fault. She lured him onto herself. So as soon as they get home, she is screaming in pain from the dental operation. He beats her almost to death. He laughs at her for having dental pain. These are just examples of what's happening on a daily basis on this planet. Non-stop it's happening. So at some point the woman decides, this is it. I've had it. I deserve someone who respects me, who respects my health, my well-being, psychologically and physically. I'm walking out of here. She packs up some stuff. He sees that. And she says, have a good one. I'm out of here. So what does he do? He kills her. And then he cuts her into pieces. And he disposes those pieces somewhere around the community. At some point, he will be found. If it's in California, he'll go to jail for a day or two and then be released on parole. Okay, a week later, he does it again to another woman. Revolving door. Governor Newsom lets him back out. Governor Newsom, it weighs too much on his conscience. He can't incarcerate people. No, he can't do death penalty. Even though the majority of people voted for death penalty, Governor Newsom ignored the majority of people. Isn't that illegal? Yeah, that's what one would think, right? Isn't that unconstitutional? Yeah, but he does it anyway, and he gets away with it. Because of the Biden administration. They want those violent people on the street. They think it somehow makes them money. Yeah. In some roundabout ways, it makes them money. It gets rid of all good people. So then, they don't have to worry about the good people anymore. They can just have bad people, and then the world can go down to pot. Right? With crime rings, organized crime, taking on extreme heights. And they all do corporate hand washing, and it's all about the quick money, Eventually everyone's gonna die from that, but hey, we're gonna have more money for the next 2 years. That's all that matters for most people. And that's the harsh reality of this. So, but anyway, in that was my version 1. So, why don't we go to version 2 now? My utopian version of what we could create. Okay, let's wind the time back. Wind it all back to the beginning. Okay, woman meets man on the internet. They hook up. Okay. Let's say they don't see eye to eye. Maybe he's a Muslim, but for this utopian version, that's so unbelievably utopian. To convert a Muslim to someone who is a free thinker, from Muslim to free thinking. This is too utopian for this example. So maybe that's just wishful thinking. So let's take someone else. Let's say she meets let's say she meets some very disgruntled half Iranian or half Middle Eastern, part black, part Native American, part white guy. And he's working at Rite Aid, night shift. And he's like really disgruntled and like, he doesn't think that this is gonna work out with that woman. Pretty soon she's gonna see his true nature. So he might just as well act like he's not interested. So this is the beginning of the story. And so she says to him, I see you're not interested in me. Well, you don't act interested, so... And he gets mad, right? And then she says, no, this is not going to work out. You can't be getting mad at me when I'm pointing out the truth. So, and then he thinks about this for a moment. And he thinks, you got a point there. Yeah, maybe I should not act like I'm disinterested. Maybe it would be a good idea, since, she likes her. Since he likes her, and she likes him, that I always mix stuff up in my brain. This is some kind of, I don't know what it is. Asperger's. So he knows she likes him, and he knows that he likes her. Okay. So he's very much into her, so they cuddle and they like each other's bodies and all of that. Seems to all be working out very well, right? But he's worried, He has bad drilling of from his dad, who drilled into him, you shouldn't show women that you are too much into her. Real bad shit drilled into him from society, insta community. Don't show her that you're into her. She's gonna friend zone you very quickly, and then you don't get to cuddle with her anymore. And then he thinks himself into this neurosis. Okay, so, but at least in this example, because he is our prototypical utopian, hopeful example, right? So we want to do it like he does it. Right? Do it like he does it. So maybe that will work. So she says, no, that doesn't work out. You were acting like you're not interested. That made me cry. That made me feel bad. And this is not going to work. And now you're getting mad. This is not going to work at all. In the other version, the guy hits her then, right? But in the utopian version, he doesn't hit her. Instead, he says, yeah, wait a minute, I need to think about this. You're right. Okay, so why, so now it goes through his head. Why did he even act like this? Like he's not interested, like he's just more interested in other girls or whatever on the internet, and kind of abandons her a little bit. Doesn't write back right away. And now he thinks about this. And he says, you're right. He has put on a facade. Okay. So he shares with her that he's put on the facade of disinterest. And so he wants to undo this, and he apologizes to her, and he says, this was my fault. I shouldn't have acted like this. So now they have come a whole lot further together. They have moved forward in this beginning of the relationship. And, now they're getting along much better than before, because he actually shared with her how he actually feels. Now she trusts him more because of that. So now they experience things more and better. They do things together. They go hiking together. So in the beginning, when they go hiking, he's not much into hiking, but he wants to be with her, and he wants to also talk and also share something, but he's a little bit afraid. So she shares her life with him like an open book. And at some point he gets a bit jealous of her exes, and then he doesn't talk, and she says, what's going on with you? What's the matter? The woman really has to be the therapist. I think that's what I think. So, but at least he has opened himself up enough for the woman to understand his side of the story a little bit better, and feel safer and feel more liked. And so now they actually have a chance to become better friends. So she says, what's the matter? So he says, nothing. And she says, I know something's going on. And then he finally says, well, when you talked to me about your exes, it made me jealous. And the woman is like, oh, okay, this is so nice of you to share that with me. I feel more safe now in this relationship. Now we moved even closer together. Now we can move further, even further forward in our lives, okay? And we become better friends, The incels, they always think friends is not good. The friendship is the foundation for a relationship. I cannot emphasize this often enough. It is the foundation for love. Okay. So, and she explains all of this to him, and he understands that. He sees that this is the truth. So you can see it firsthand, how this is developing in the right direction. And being honest is making things much better between them. And much more passionate also on every level, So then the man doesn't have to do some kind of narcissistic repair anymore, or think that he has to get even with her psychologically, physically, do some kind of drama with other women, or with fake woman accounts or something, or make her jealous on the internet or something like this. But instead just be him, okay? And be there for her fully. Like really fully, do you understand? You be there for her fully. Not drama, not getting even, not narcissistic repair shit. Not withholding the cuddling, not being stubborn or cold, but share. This is how you feel. This is how he feels. He feels vulnerable with her. He feels like she could walk away from him any second, and then that rejection would be worse than death. This is a big issue in almost all men. I have observed this on the internet. I see this in absolute crystal clarity, what's going on. And I am very grateful. I just want to add to this. I am very grateful. I talked to a guy before we came back to this house. Just the other day, I talked to a guy. I believe that's one of my haters. I don't know who, but I'm sure it's one of them. Okay. It doesn't really matter who it is. They all behave exactly the same way. Okay. And my message is exactly the same message for every single one of them. So we talked a bit. I asked a bunch of questions. I share with him how I feel, honestly. Because why should I lie, you know? That wouldn't make any sense at all. And I wasn't in the mood for cutesy pootsy photos, okay? Obviously. Because my haters have made me feel pretty bad. So if you tell me I'm ugly, I'm not gonna show cute pics. It's not gonna happen. Just for the mere fact alone that I don't feel confident enough to share a photo. Because you've told me I'm ugly. I hope that makes sense, you know. If you want romance, then act like it. Or walk away. Not this sneaky drama retaliation stuff. That's not going to get you anywhere. With me or with anyone, it wouldn't make any relationship better for you. Okay, this is a fact. So in version 2 of my story, the guy listens, he shares, he opens himself up. And that's one thing that I appreciate the hater said the other day. He said, because I said to him, why do those men in those crime reports, why do those men become physically violent like this? And he said one thing that I thought was really cool, that he at least said it. He thinks they're justified, probably, you know, and all of this is not cool. But there's one thing he said that I thought was at least the very first baby step forward. He said that that being violent to the woman makes them feel like they're in charge, like that makes them feel like they're in control in that moment. And I very much appreciate that he said that to me. I very much appreciate. That's a glimpse. That is it's a baby step forward in the right direction. Okay. So now let's stay on this track. I hope I make this clear. I hope I can make this understood. I am not your guru, I'm not your therapist, I'm not your psychoanalytical, like X-ray glasses on, I see through you and all of this. No, if I did, I wouldn't have any more questions left, obviously. For me, men are enigmas. Like the guy Enigma, and like every Enigma man in the world, and every violent man, and every psychopath, and every sadistic man, and every bondage man. Okay, they are enigmas. An enigma means conundrum. It means a riddle. It means something very confusing and like a maze garden. Like you have absolutely no idea what is going on in someone's brain. And that is the case. I really don't know what's going on in their brains. So that's why I'm asking these questions. That's why I watch crime reports. The crime reports themselves don't ask these questions that I ask. They usually don't. I think that Michelle McNamara was definitely asking more questions. Women ask more questions. Women are way more analytical, way more communicative, way more talkative, way more socializing, way more bringing the community together. This is evolution, of course. So allow the woman to be the therapist. It's evolution, it's normal, it's natural. No, we're not disrespecting you, we're not putting you down by trying to understand this, okay? Our brain is wired a bit different, okay? We want to bring the community together, we want to create love and harmony in every single living being, okay? Well, that's the tendency of most women. There's always exceptions. I talked about this in a video way back. There was a woman who was very psychopathic. There are some women serial murderers and so on. That is going, but on average, in general, most women are wired towards understanding the other and bringing the community together, making friends, talking, chatting, communicating, video chatting, So understand that, first of all. Understand that you are not being looked down on. You don't have to constantly feel like you are being psychoanalyzed or that you're being some kind of test person or something. We're just trying to understand you, that's all. Okay. We want our boyfriends to understand us and understand themselves, okay? We want to come close to them. We want real love. For us, it's not just about that kink position or whatever. It's not just about the raw lust. If we have a raw lust experience with a man, we grow attached, okay? That is our nature. That's my nature big time, okay? I become very needy, very, very attached, like a puppy dog. And a guy in LA, a guy from San Francisco who was at the center in LA, he took me out to dinner, and then afterwards we went to the bar and I drank mineral water. And I sat there, I'm your puppy dog for tonight. You can do anything you want with me. And he was like, nah, you're too much like a puppy dog. I'm sorry, you're going home alone. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with his brain, because he could have had the night of his life, but he had to turn it down because I was too much like a needy puppy dog. That's his problem, not mine. I mean, I cried and all, I was sad about this, but it's like, whatever. it's it's still not my problem. That guy's also like, he could be my dad. I mean, he's like 25 years older than me. I mean, he had his chance with a 27 or 28-year-old girl. He had a chance, but he was big boobs. Naturally, he had his chance, but now too much like a puppy dog. I mean, I don't know what is going on in that brain, right? I mean, something really bizarre going on. There are some men that I will never get to see through. And it's sad, because not for me, it's sad for them. It really is. It really is sad. But let's take example 2, version 2 of the story. That man is willing to listen. That man is willing to introspect. And that man is willing to talk about all of this, the psychological stuff, and share. That's really the key here. Share with her how he really feels. Okay. Behind all of that offstandishness, behind acting like he's not interested. He shares with her how he really feels, and he says that he is really insecure. He thinks that she's going to walk away from him, or she finds someone better, and he doesn't really have much self-esteem, and he feels like he's some kind of loser, or he doesn't feel good looking enough. And she assures him, you are 150% my type physically. And it's very hard for him to believe that. And I noticed that the men who are my 150,000,000% type, right? Those are the ones who do not feel secure about their appearance. And you know why? Because Hollywood, baby, what a pity. Hollywood has presented to us how you are supposed to look like. And boy, if you don't look like that, then they want you to feel ugly and insecure. Okay? If you don't look like Brad Pitt and Matthew McConaughey, then, I'm sorry, I cannot say the actual name, then you have to hide yourself at home with your beer bottle in front of the computer. And you cannot even possibly meet a woman, and if you do, you beat her up and incarcerate her. And that has recently happened. A woman meeting a man on the internet. The moment they got into his apartment, he raped her and then incarcerated her. For 5 days, she barely escaped. She barely escaped by a hair, alive. She managed to get out of there. Okay, in one moment when he wasn't at home. I don't know how she escaped, but she barely escaped out of there alive. And so now that leaves a lot of questions for us women. Why in the frickin' world would that guy act like this? And I think I'm getting just a little bit closer to the answer. He thinks he's ugly. Even though she likes him, he still thinks he's ugly because Hollywood told him he is. Okay? That's why. That's why I always keep repeating, question Hollywood institutions, question your fucking religion, question your peer group, society, question them all, okay? Just question it all. Go stand in front of your mirror and take a lipstick, buy a lipstick, okay? I like that, when a man has a lipstick. I think it's cute. And write on the mirror, bro, I love you, okay? You have to do it. This is my homework that I'm giving you for tonight, okay? When you watch this video, buy yourself a lipstick and write on the mirror, bro, I love you. You can also write on there, Nikki Daisy thinks you are gorgeous, okay? So write that, mirror on the wall. The mirror says to you, Nikki Daisy thinks you are gorgeous. You are Nikki Daisy's type, 150 million %, okay? You better believe it. Danny, I don't know how the other guys look like. They have not shown themselves to me, so I can't judge on that, okay? There's only one guy who's shown himself, and that's Danny. Unless he's used some kind of filter or some kind of, maybe there's some kind of real advanced computer program that can make him look totally different in front of the camera. I mean, that's another possibility, but I don't think so. I think that's the actual person. And he is my 150 million % type, okay? But the way he acts all the time, it doesn't make me feel wanted. It doesn't make me feel understood. It doesn't make me feel loved. It makes me feel abandoned and all of that, okay? And that's why I talk about this all the time. And bro, my insecurities come up, okay? I'm old, you're young. My insecurities come up, big time, okay? And then you come back with another account again. And then you say you're obsessed. It's like, okay, now if you are obsessed, then why do you act like you're not interested the slightest bit? Why do you act cold and say, I have to go to bed now? And nothing else, no kiss, no heart, nothing. That makes me cry. I mean, it shouldn't be that difficult to understand, to get that into the brain, right? I mean, get this into the brain. But what I'm dealing with you is you don't feel like, you feel insecure, okay? You feel like that I could abandon you. I think that's what the problem is. So in my version 2 example of the story, she tells him, bro, you're my 150 million % type, okay? Stop talking about this, that you feel like I could walk away anytime. I depend on you, like I'm completely yours in that way, okay? I depend on you. I'm obsessed with you, with your body and all of your body parts, okay? So please don't think that. But he thinks that because of Hollywood standards and so on. So I had a boyfriend in Germany who was so gorgeous, totally my type, who looked very much like Danny, okay? He has a lot of Mongolian in him, and he thinks he is pudgy and kind of overweight, and he thinks he is like a doughboy, and he thinks he's not that hard-bodied man that society dictates to him to be. I don't want that. I don't like that. I'm not into that. That's not my style. That's not my taste. I'm not into that, what Hollywood portrays to us as the maximum he guy, he man, like the prototypical non plus ultra masculine man. That's not my type. I'm not into that. I find that also stupid, guys like that. It's not very intellectual. I find that superficial, and can't even trust a guy like that. I mean, it's like, I don't even want to touch a man who's like steel. There's nothing to cuddle. There's nothing to grab onto, I like to grab onto your ass. Let's reverse the roles for a moment here, okay? A lot of women like the chubby teddy bear. Trust me on this. This is the truth, okay? I mean, I don't like the pig farmer out there, the 400-pounder. He eats nothing but pigs. Okay, now he's gonna get a heart attack in no time. And I mean, that guy, I find that gross. But 200 pounds, 250 pounds, but don't go further than that. Don't go over 250 pounds. Okay? Don't do that to your precious heart. Okay? You are precious. Okay? I want you to know that. We're all precious. You don't have to go to the gym every day and have this incessant need to, and everyone telling you need to go to the gym, you need to tone up, and you need to go get some sunshine on you. All of that shit that people are constantly, but nobody tells you to become a vegetarian. Nobody tells you to eat an ethical food plan. I don't use the word diet, okay? So because, as Dr. Scholl said, diet contains the word die. The Atkins diet, it's about dying. Don't do it, okay? Just don't do it. Don't do Atkins. Dr. Atkins died. Ta-ta. And I'm not making fun of this. He died from his own frickin' diet. Okay. That's why it's called a diet, because people die on diets. So don't do diets. Become a whole food vegetarian. And you can eat as much as you want to. You can put on some weight, Jeffree Star, put on some weight. He's on the right track here, okay? Put on some weight, okay? You're way too thin, way too skinny. So, some women like it, but you're not into women, so... I don't know. I think a lot of men would like you also better if you put on some weight. So, but some men have a stronger metabolism and all of that. But if you become a whole food vegetarian, and I think Jeffree Star, I don't know if Jeffree Star is a vegetarian. I don't think he is. I think he eats yak meat. So, but whatever, So that's definitely better than slaughter industry and all of this. But it's still cruel. So I'm against yak meat. I'm against all meat. Cow meat, buffalo meat, pig meat, any kind of mammal meat. I'm against it. It's wrong. So I eat, maybe I'm eating like a turkey hot dog once a month or something like this. That's not often enough. I get a little tired if I can tell. My brain goes into like sleep mode. I'm like, Okay. I'm slowing down. Okay, wait a minute. I need to eat a turkey hot dog or some chicken quesadilla or something like this to wake up again. I'm still alive, like Energizer. Okay, so okay, maybe once a week. This is kind of like my goal, but I forget to eat that. So he forgets to give that to me, but I have to remind myself about once a week. Eat chicken or turkey a little bit, only a little bit, not a whole lot. No mammal meat and whole food. No muffins, okay? Absolutely no muffins. But Paul's addicted to chocolate and candy, and so am I, and it's very, very difficult. And that makes my brain tired too. This is very dangerous too. But mammal meat is unethical. It absolutely is killer. It's a heartbreaker, literally. Okay, so yeah, all of this is heartbreaking, literally, physically, and metaphorically. Okay, and that's why I try to get this relatively balanced whole food plan. Okay, and that works the best for me. So that's what I figured out. And I also eat bentonite clay, and that's very vitally important. I highly recommend that to people. You eat 1 tablespoon or let's just 1 teaspoon, like a large teaspoon, after you get up, after you brush your teeth, and then 1 teaspoon, large teaspoon, after you brush your teeth before you go to bed. Okay, and that's what I do, and that's good enough. So maybe I'll take more of that, and in the future. Right now it's still mixed in with some sodium bentonite clay, and I had told Paul that I wasn't going to ingesting sodium bentonite clay anymore because it has heavy metals, but I'm just doing this for him because he's worried, but I know that the sodium bentonite is safe too. So, but I mix in calcium bentonite clay, and we're just gonna buy calcium bentonite clay from now on, and then I can use that for everything, for brushing my teeth, for face masks, for wound healing, it even cures candida. I put it in there as well because I used to have candida, a lot. So that's gotten a whole lot better because of my holistic lifestyle. So that's gotten a whole lot better. Was the Candida albicans, okay, so which is yeast infection. So, and also I live a celibate lifestyle, okay, so that helps a lot. So, and then I drink rhododendron tea for virus protection, obviously, when we go into the store. So that really completely gives total immunity. So 1 cup, but don't drink too much, you get diarrhea. No, I've already been through all of this. I've tested that on myself, and that's not fun. So, and that happens once in a while, okay? This is not good. So I know now I can only take 1 leaf of rhododendron. I shred it up, I put it in my thermoscan. Here's my thermoscan. So, put it in my thermos mug. This is really nice. And I put boiling water on it. I put the lid on, and this is the lid. And this is really, really, really awesome, this company here. I forgot the name now. What's the name? Ozark Trails, something like this. They're really, really good, and they're reasonably priced, and the products are fantastic. They make all kinds of backpacking equipment. So I always use these. Yeah, I have 2 of those, one in orange, one in burgundy. I use this one here. I use the other one I use at the other house. So, and I make tea with that. So 1 leaf of rhododendron, shredded, put that in, and then boiling water on it, and then let it sit for an hour, and then you can drink it. And that's perfectly safe. It immunizes you from all viruses, okay? And even if you caught the virus, it gets rid of the virus in your body. It's absolutely phenomenal. It really works. So for anyone who wants to give this a try, I really highly recommend that to you. But people are so indoctrinated, and they're indoctrinated by the pharma industry, by the medical industry, by the corporate agenda, and Hollywood is an entire apparatus that serves only the corporate agenda. So become very crystal clear on this. And I would say almost all religions are a vehicle for the corporate agenda. So question all of this. And question society in regards to your appearance. You are ultra, ultra gorgeous, Danny. You are. Okay? And I'm not the only one who thinks that. So trust me on this. Trust in yourself. You are precious. All of you are. Okay? So stop thinking that you're not, and then you have to put some kind of drama, action or something because you can't talk about it, and then all hell breaks loose as a cascade of negative act outs and so on. Just because you can't talk about it. Talk about it. Open yourself up. If not to your peer group, because they're all like you trying to pretend something, but open yourself up to someone you trust. Open yourself up at least to someone on the internet, to me or anyone, or even someone who's not talking to you. Open up under the video, even if it's someone who might not even see your account because some of those people have too many subscribers. It doesn't matter. Open up under the video. Talk about it. Someone will see it. Some woman will see it and trust you because of it. Okay? So that's my recommendation for you if you want your life to become better. So in that second version of my love story, okay, they have a happy ending because he opens up 100%. He surrenders to the truth. They both surrender to the truth. And they fall into each other's arms. And they are living like this happily ever after. And they are having great sex and love making and real love making. And they have a dog and they are happy. And they love the dog. And they love art. And they love nature. And things are getting better and better and better and better and better and better and better. Okay. Peace and love.